And welcome back. Okay, so you have made it back to the car and are heading back to London. You've got
If
a good 3 hour drive back to London.
all right,
Let me ask while you guys are doing
All
this,
driving.
uh, Oren, are you checking out that
ledger.
uh, Arabic book that
Y- Yes, probably. I will probably check that out just because I speak Arabic.
okay. So this appears to be at you would guess this is at least 1,000 years old. It
Huh.
is bound in goat skin with a bronze clasp and
What?
has a weird sulfurish smell to it. If you would like
Oh,
to
that's just
read
great.
it, I will need a language Arabic roll.
I will try to read it since I have actually been given it to take a look at. I will try to read it. Well, my Arabic is not incredibly fantastic. It's enough to get by in the
You
country.
just need a normal success.
All right. Well, even that isn't going to be easy, but I will try to do so. All right. I will roll. No, I missed it by
Missed it by 9.
9 points.
That much.
The question is, do you want to spend 9 luck?
Mm, sure, I'll spend the 9 luck because we do need to know
Okay.
what. I hate doing it.
So,
Goodbye, luck. God, I'm screwed later on. All right.
you lose 2 points of sanity.
Ah,
Oh, joys.
You
Even.
gain 1 point of Cthulhu Mythos.
All right. So I get
reading
to.
stuff is never a win.
Yeah, I know.
So, this is a heretical work alleged to be the transcript of a series of discussions held by the author with a jinn, being of scorching fire, which related all manners of esoteric and forbidden lore. Some of this you think is pretty fanciful, but you do find some things that kind of speak to you in here. You
Okay.
know that there is one spell in this volume. It is called Enchantment of the Living Flame. It will take
Okay.
you 6 weeks uh,
To learn it.
to learn it.
What does this spell do, out of curiosity?
Uh, you think it has something to do with let me just make sure that I'm telling you the right spell. Yes. You believe that you would summon spirits of the jinn that would be able to light a magical torch that could burn anything in the world.
Ooh. So basically, I'd have like a flaming torch or whatever I flamed.
Yes.
Would it just be a torch, or could it be? Is the actual item hurt by the flame, or it's more like a imbued with flame? Like,
The torch becomes imbued with magical flame.
all right, now is it just a torch, or could it also be? Because
No, it
typically,
has. It's very specific that it has to be a torch.
well, I go, this is very interesting.
Isn't it though?
I tell the others this seems to be a I'll let them know that it seems to be a book, um, supposedly a conversation between a jinn and a human, and there seems to be a spell that imbues a torch with a flame that can burn anything.
Sounds like something for Seamus.
And I believe I told you get one additional point of Cthulhu Mythos.
Yes, I did add that on.
Excellent.
I go,
The bad guys get all the cool toys.
hey, now we do. How long does this spell last,
That
by the
makes
way,
us the
once
bad
it's
guys.
cast?
You won't know that until you actually study the spell.
Okay. No, until I learn it, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I will say I will attempt to study this later in detail, but I figure that's what I did during the 3 hours of the drive.
Yes, that is those are the
I
things
will-
that you learned in the 3
I will
hours.
hand the ledger for one. Who in this party is good at library use, or who is it like the bookworm?
It's probably not me. Let's take a look.
Who is the?
That would be me. I've got 50% in library
right.
use.
I will hand the book, the
Yeah,
ledger
that's
to you.
30.
So I'm going to hand the ledger to him so he can peruse it to see what he can glean from it. Besides it, yeah, if there's anything else in there that he can glean from it.
So the important entries are the ones that are in the England 12 handout that I gave you.
Oh, okay. I just wanted if there was anything more to
Yeah,
it.
I mean there are many more entries like this. Gavigan was fairly meticulous in his records keeping, but these are the ones that are important that lead you
Right.
to Hofang Import Export. You see that name Pale Viper again. Henson Manufacturing, Omar Al Shakti, whose name you've also seen once before. And a representation of the bloody tongue being sent to a Ifa Singh in Mombasa, Kenya.
Mm-hmm. When we get to London, I'm going to make a phone call to Craig
Okay.
and see if he's at home.
So you get to London about 8 in the morning.
Should be at home at that time.
Yes.
He's retired. I call him, say, "Are you at home?"
He says, yes, I am. I was
I
thinking of
haven't.
going to the precinct today, just for something to do. But
No, we have something. I have something for you, and I've run into some friends or some acquaintances. This is information you are going to want to know.
excellent.
Shall I meet you at your house?
Yes, that would be fine.
All right. And I give him directions to get to his house.
Okay.
And we meet him. Oh, and I say, you might want, before I hang up, I go, you might want to make sure that Barrett, your Benetton drops by.
Would it be
Barrington.
Barrington.
better for us to do this at the precinct? Do you think?
No,
Or...
no, because we do not know who we can trust.
All right. Very good.
So
Okay.
we get to his place, and we show him the evidence, the wallet, the precinct card, where we found it, the ledger, the letter that obviously indicates that he had a hand in the death of Elias Jackson, the ledger, which shows evidence of some type of international connections, whether that could be taken with everything else as possibly a conspiracy or something else, particularly with the idea that Henson Industries supposedly is part of the war production or war industry, from what little I've gathered. I'm letting him draw. I'm just giving some hints, and then I'm letting him take it where he goes from there. Since he is a former inspector. And
not to mention that we found a kidnap victim in the dungeon.
Oh yes, and they had captured me 2 weeks ago. I explained what my situation. I had done what he had asked. Checked out Henson Industries, couldn't get in. Started checking out the Blue Pyramid. Was able to get a cultist, and I give him the name of the cultist, who had been a high-end Englishman who admitted to doing certain crimes and a murder or two, and that he was going to show me evidence in the Pennu Foundation, but that we were captured by Gavigan and his men, and Gavigan's men killed the other man. And I tell him that I was able to convince him that I was the guy had recruited me as a new cultist.
Well, my friend, you outdid yourself this time.
However, your gentlemen here, I would have been still stuck in these cells if these gentlemen hadn't. Yes, they did get captured, but they did have the skill set to get themselves out of the cell and release this poor lady who needs your protection.
But then again, getting captured was all part of the plan again.
Yeah, better lucky than good.
Well, that's what I say. And I say, I am quite sure the other waitresses at the Blue Pyramid have similar tales if properly addressed. And also, I mentioned that the girl had mentioned the spice shop, and that whoever operates there seems to be part of the somewhere in the middle ranks of the cult.
Interesting. Well, we always suspected that there was some connection to the Blue Pyramid, but we couldn't ever find any concrete information, and my guys were pulled off of it, which is why I had asked these folk if they could find something.
I would like to make
the gentleman that you speak of, Mr. Daniel Savoy. We found his body in the Thames while you were away from us.
Mon ami.
But unfortunately, there was no physical evidence on the body that we could use to tie to Gavigan. But it is one more stone that we can add.
Well, I saw his murder. So, and who ordered it?
Interesting.
But I think that you're going to want more than just that. I mean, we've given you plenty here that I think something can be sanctioned. Do you feel like I do that maybe British intelligence, military intelligence would be interested?
Did you give him Munden's wallet? I didn't hear you mention that.
Yes, I did give him Munden's wallet.
So at the sight of Munden's inspector card, Barrington gasps, and
it was in one of these cells that was part of the Messer House complex that we were all in.
So Barrington goes absolutely batshit at this, and starts ranting and raving about getting together just a squad of people and going and taking Miser House down to the bricks and taking on the whole Pennu Foundation. And after he's kind of tired himself out for a second, Craig kind of puts his hand up and says, Barrington, you know as well as I do that if we tried to get him on just eyewitness testimony alone, even with just this wallet, that he's going to be out on the street before we even had time to make a cup of tea. He's too well connected. He's got, his old boss was a peer of the realm. We're going to need more physical evidence if we want to tie it to Barrington. Tie it to Gavigan. We definitely can start our own off the books investigation here, and I fully agree that Gavigan is definitely involved.
W- These fine gentlemen tell me that we are under a time restraint. Seems that he's planning some special ceremony in about 8 days, gentlemen.
Yes.
On
Yes,
the
coincide
on the
with
night
the
of the
new.
22nd.
Yes, and that ceremony would take place at the Messer House.
Interesting.
It's what is it like? What's it like?
That's what I'm asking. Is it? That's the
New
question I have.
moon.
Is it?
It's a new
It-
moon
New
thing,
moon.
right?
Yeah,
Yes,
and
new
it,
moon
and they got
at the
and it
these
Messer House.
robes. They got robes and they got a headdress and they got knives and all this kind of stuff. And it's like an altar. It's
You
really
got
freaky.
robes. That stuff's getting real.
There's black ones, red ones.
Giant mass, dogs and cats living
It
together. Mass
claws.
hysteria.
They had these claw things that they could claw.
Claws.
you might have enough evidence to at least shut down the pyramid place and the spice shop, just in general from the cultists.
we,
That
we
might.
we definitely have enough that in the absolute worst case, we could send in a team that night and see what we see. But let's see what other information that we can gather ahead of that, and if there's
Well, we have two places yet to check out. One is the Pennu Foundation. I at least know the secret entrance or the entrance that can be used, and where we were heading. I suspect that even though all I saw was shipping crates, it probably something in the back, maybe some shifting of some of the cargo or the crates. There's probably a secret, maybe something hidden back there. That might be worth looking after. The other place is obviously Henson Industries.
well,
Now,
I
go
can
ahead.
Henson.
and you say you think this has something to do with the War Department.
Well, when I talked to the people in that town, because I paid for drinks, the standard, that you would do to investigate. The workers all believe that they are working for the government on weaponry for the ministry. I don't know if that's true. That's what they say, and it is well guarded, which would match up that. It wouldn't be hard to find out through your connections whether it actually is.
Yes, I can make some phone calls and see what I can find out about that, and see
But
if that story's real.
now, our one real benefit here is that Gavigan seems to be his weakness is his arrogance. He believes everything is taken care of. He did not eliminate me or the girl. He seems to think that he is ahead of the game. And just to let you know, the people that kept us in the cells only checked up on us about once every 2 days, maybe if we were lucky every day, but usually an average of every couple of days, which means we were able to escape without notice and leaving it look like nothing had changed. So we may have up to 48 hours before they realize our escape.
Hmm.
Because once he realizes we have escaped, if he has any brains whatsoever, he will be making sure that the Blue Pyramid, the spice shop, and any evidence at the foundation disappears. The only place left after that, because he won't think we know about it, is Henson Industries. So I'm thinking tonight we hit the Pennu Foundation. And while your team hits, within the next 24 hours or sooner, the Pyramid Club and the Spice Shop.
I would
If
I
that's
would
feasible.
I would tend to agree that tonight you should hit the Pennu Foundation. My only worry is whether or not uh, during the day today you should go back out to Derby and see if you can find anything at this Henson Manufacturing, or if we should wait until we hear back from my contacts.
I say we wait for the context because he's not going to think we know about that. We may have a little bit more time for that.
Very well, very well.
I'm
Well,
hoping. It it would fit into his usual, what I noticed while he tried to stretch me out.
very well. Uh, Young lady, we can put you in protective custody until this whole thing is settled. We definitely don't want you to be seen on the streets because that would give away our plans if should one of your friends or associates from the Blue Pyramid see you and it get mentioned to the wrong ears.
Could I make a suggestion, Craig? Do you have
Yes.
anything in your fridge? Because neither her or I have had a stable meal for at least a week.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, yes, absolutely. Let's
Gentlemen, I'm
get
quite
some
sure you're hungry too.
get some breakfast together, and we'll make some further plans.
I tell you what, I will take care of the kitchen, and you two, since you know what needs to be done with the authorities, you can decide, make the phone calls and make certain decisions.
Very well. I'll make some calls, and we'll go from there.
I
So
head into the kitchen and start getting some tea going and pull out some stuff from the fridge. I assume the other men in the group are hungry too.
What time is it now?
it's
I'm
about
thinking
8:30 in the morning.
and we'll probably I'm gonna after we eat, I'm gonna
Sounds good.
her and I are probably gonna want to clean up, so I'll let her take the tub or shower first.
Very well.
We're
Once you
just all
all
hanging out in Barrington's house.
Craig's house right now.
Craig's.
I suggest we do not leave this house because we don't know how far the cult goes. They might be watching Craig and Barrington. We don't want them to see us outside the house. We don't want to be seen in public right now. Not till this evening when we hit the Pennu Foundation.
Okay.
Tell us more about this pen. Were we at the Penhue Foundation? I feel like we
So
were there earlier.
you have
Yeah.
gone inside.
I don't know.
Alistair and Jack met with Gavigan in his
Oh,
offices.
right. That was
So
weird.
they've seen the public facing parts of the Pennu Foundation and met Gavigan. You staked out the Pennu Foundation one afternoon, and that's how you found Puneet Chowdhury's warehouse and Captain Torvak, because you saw a shipment leave the Pennu Foundation and head for the docks.
Got it.
That is what you know so far about.
Yeah. All right.
Gentlemen, after we eat, I don't know about you, but after cleaning up, we're going to all need some rest before we do anything tonight.
Get all the
So
sleep I need when I'm dead.
after you get all cleaned up and eat and all of that,
I don't
Craig
disagree.
comes back and says, "Well, I was able to talk to a couple of my friends in in the government. Henson Manufacturing is not on any of the official or unofficial government contract lists. So that story that they gave you is just a story.
Well, that's what they're telling the workers,
Mm.
which tells me that they're working on something that they think is weaponry or military machinery. Because that wasn't to us. They're telling their workers that, which means the workers are working on something that deals with machinery or
Right.
weaponry.
And if there's some large scale weaponry, that might come in very useful around the new moon period and some kind of assault on
Well,
Wizard
take a look.
House.
Take a look at the ledger, though. This stuff is being shipped out to British colonies. That the British government
Large
has,
scale sacrifices.
well, not only that, but I don't know about you, but if I was British, I'd be very concerned about this.
What year is it again? 1926?
25.
25.
Yeah. Who knows who else is getting this stuff? Where is it going to? Japan, I mean, Britain has many, competitors. Japan, Italy.
Where is this stuff going?
So from the
It's going
invoice,
to Egypt, right?
from the invoice,
I'm gonna take
you
a look at this
know that there has been fabricated materials and parts labeled prototypes sent to Shanghai.
Yeah.
There have been receipt of technical schematics and blueprints from Pale Viper
Mhm.
being sent to Henson Manufacturing.
And where's Pale Viper from?
Pale Viper is in Shanghai.
Okay.
Sounds like we should snoop around Henson.
You've seen that ancient machine parts
Also going to Henson.
were going to Henson, being sent from Australia. From
20
Huston
24
in Australia. You know that name too. There was a
20-foot
statue
inch
going
statue.
there was a statue going to Australia, forwarding a diary to Shakti, and then the
Astronomical
charts
charts.
and something about the bloody tongue going to Kenya.
We know what they're doing with those.
No,
this is in the past.
No, but all those places that they're sending to is also British colonies.
Yes.
Or Britain.
Britain, yes.
Yes.
I don't think
And
Shanghai colony.
to a cult, we don't know what their true agenda is. Though I don't want to call I don't want to call in military intelligence either, because we know Gavigan has connections everywhere. And that's the last thing we want. The more people that know, that it is more likely a leak is going to occur. Not unless we know we can trust them. I agree that we need some more proof. I mean, we have enough to cause some real issues. But I think our best bet is to hit the Penn U Foundation tonight. And then right after that, if we're successful, head for Derry. Maybe by that time, if we have the evidence we need, we can get
Derry or Derby.
Derby. If we find certain evidence in Derby, at the Penhu Foundation, we might be able to have more official help to go into Henson.
Right, because it looks like from this that Henson is building something. The
Right.
schematics and parts arriving.
Wouldn't you say, Craig, if we find some, I believe if we find some solid evidence at the foundation, we probably would be able to get help with official help at Henderson, wouldn't you think? Or Henson, right?
I'm not sure what help I'll be able to offer to go to Henson yet. It might be tricky because if they're not actually on the War Department, then I won't have a whole lot of good reason for uh, sending men in. But we'll see what we can do. I mean, it's a lot of it will depend on what you find at the Penhu Foundation.
I'm just curious, how many officers do you have that you trust?
Honestly, the one I have is right here.
All right, I said because
You know, there's a lot of lads that I think are good folk, but this is going to need special handling.
right, and you're going to have your hands full just trying to take care of the Pyramid Club and the Spice Shop. All right, well maybe we will try to hit. We're going to hit the Penhu house tonight. Why don't we? I don't know about you, gentlemen, but what do you think we're going to need? I mean, I think we're going to need some like break-in equipment, crowbar, various. I write up I'm quite sure we might want to have someone that's a special. What?
Night vision goggles.
We've got break-in equipment. We got nothing else. Well, we can break into stuff
Multiple times each night.
I think I actually have.
How many times did you break into the Juju house?
Right.
Enough. I actually have crowbar on my character sheet.
All right.
And a shovel for some reason.
I'm gonna, gentlemen. I think we should leave the books here.
No reading allowed.
No, I know. I mean the books here for safekeeping. I'm thinking even leaving the two ankhs here, only because if we do run into trouble at the foundation, I don't want him getting these back. Now
And I also have a book that he is very eager to get his hands on that we've been hiding along the way.
So let's leave that stuff here, because at least if we're not successful, my dear friend Craig, at least you have kept him from having things he would want to have.
Very good.
As much as I think some of the stuff would be useful, you know as well as I do, things can go belly up real quick.
Indeed.
All right. It's around 10 now?
Yeah. 10, 11.
I'm going to take because we're not going to want to go there till night. So I'm going to take at least a 5-hour snooze just to, if not longer. Yeah, if I go to 10, wake up at 4, that's at least 6 hours of sleep. So at least I get some sleep in. And I suggest you gentlemen do the same, because we want to be fresh. That'll give us enough time to eat again, get some coffee or tea in us, and prep during the last couple hours before we head over there.
All right.
Very good.
And that allows Barrington to go back to work, and Craig to plot out things, maybe do some investigation
Yes.
on his own to inform us. Maybe I say, if maybe we can find out through your contacts where Gavigan is, or what his itinerary is. It shouldn't be that hard to find out through various channels without alerting him what he's doing. Someone like that has a tendency to be very, in British society, usually, like a published itinerary, or you can get a clue where he's going to be or where he's at. So we take our nap.
Very good.
Ah.
So the last time that you snuck in here,
So many times. So much sneaking.
So when you came in, Daniel had a key that got you in through the back door of the Foundation. You don't have that this time. And then he snuck you down into the basement and showed you a secret door at the back of a storage room.
When did we get discovered? When we got to that door, or what?
When you came through the secret door into his little secret lair, Gavigan was already in there.
Wait, are you talking about the time we were there?
No, when I was there.
Yes.
Okay.
So I figure we have someone who's a lockpick specialist, so he should be able to get us in there. If not, I'll try to use my skills as well. I'll try to remember the details of the key so that maybe that will give us an advantage. And we'll go from there. Is there now? Do I feel that he was already in there, so that's why I want to find out where he's at. Because I don't want to go and repeat the whole thing where he's down there again.
Right.
Or I want to have an idea that he is down here so that we can be prepared. Now, how many people did he have down there with him when we went down there?
It was just him.
How did he capture us?
He shot Daniel, and you were in a little bit of shock, and he.
So I actually witnessed him murder someone.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And he did something, and you don't really understand what, but all of a sudden you were blacked out.
Probably some spell or powder or something. Maybe he blew opium at me, opium dust at me.
You should be so lucky.
Well, we gotta remember, we would still be thinking in real, even though I somewhat believe, I would still be thinking in, real life terms. And there are certain forms of narcotic dust that will knock you out pretty quick once you inhale it. So, all right. So we rest.
Does this smell like chloroform to you?
Yeah. Wow. The other reason I wanted to make sure we got rested is because if we, that way we don't have constant sanity losses, because I do believe we need a good rest so we have a chance to reset any recovery.
Strangely enough, 1920s, there's a lot of people died because robbers would use chloroform on them and they'd OD people.
Yep. Yep. All right. So we wake up. We have and we go over our plan. I assume by this time point, probably Craig has gotten a map or a rough map of the Penn Foundation.
Yeah, you've all, well, the rest of the party's been there before, so they have a map for.
I don't know that I was there.
I point out to him where the back entrance is.
So,
Yeah, I
has
think you
Craig
were
been able to
staking out the outside while we were poking around inside, meeting with Gavigan.
Has Craig found out anything about Gavigan's whereabouts?
he called over to the Penhew Foundation asking about Mr. Gavigan, and was told that Mr. Gavigan was not going to be home today, that he would be at his private estates.
Which means Messer House.
We did know his private secretary is Mr. Kennery. Or Kinnery. Thomas Kinnery. We could see if he's around. I'm guessing he's probably part of the cult as well, being his personal secretary.
Did you find out when he was going to come back?
He's staying there through the weekend and would be back in the office on Monday.
Okay. I have a funny feeling he may be back sooner than that. So they said he had left to go to the...
Yes.
More than likely. And what time did you call?
I called over after we finished breakfast.
So did they indicate when he left, or just said he was heading
just
up?
that they just said that he wasn't in today.
All right. Well, that doesn't mean he went right away. Hopefully not. That means that he could be back as soon as this evening if he's gone up right away. If he's taking his sweet time, he might still be in transition.
Crap.
Well, that tells you, Craig, that he may start operations to shut down the pyramid and the spice shop sometime tonight, as early as tonight, because he will find out that we escaped. And he knows that I know certain information. At least I know, if the girl said anything, he's going to know I know about the pyramid and the Penhew Foundation.
And he knows that we were at the Penhew Foundation, and his thugs caught us with the woman that they took up, the waitress that they took up. So there's the connection there. So he's going to know there's something bigger going on.
You're going to want to be careful, Craig. I hope you didn't give your name to him when you asked about where he was.
No, I definitely played it cool. Did not let him know that this was official business or anything.
And they didn't know it was you.
No.
Good. You might want to let Bennington know of. I assume you've let Bennington know of this information too.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to be on our toes, gentlemen, because hopefully he will continue his arrogant ways, and he didn't go up right away, which means even if he made a phone call, I'd rather deal with his less than intelligent underlings than have to deal with him if he is in full gear. But I would think that we need to, probably you, Mr. Craig, and Barrington want to take care of the Blue Pyramid and the Spice Shop soon. Because she has enough there to sink that at least. Pointing to the girl.
So what the girl told about the Blue Pyramid is that the owner of the Pyramid Club knows that the cult uses it, but he's scared to death of them, and nothing illegal goes on at the pyramid. It's just a private drinking establishment. So there's not a whole lot that.
No, but I'm quite sure the cultists talked while inebriated or during their time with the women.
Yes,
and they
yes,
get their own
but
little
it's not,
private
business,
jail.
it's not. They're not going to be able to shut the place down. Is what?
No. But the thing is all those waitresses and the owner have probably overheard this stuff, so they are witnesses in a sense.
Mm.
And if I was Gavigan, I'd want them dead or silenced.
Murder.
I'm not saying operations occurred at the pyramid, but what you could do as a cover is, obviously she's told you that there has been sex in play, and I do believe there are certain prostitution laws in England.
Iffy at best, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, at the very least, it gives us some angles.
Well, enough to collect all the girls and the owner. And then you can, Barrington could special interrogate them for more information they have overheard from the cultists. And I do believe the way you hinted is that I had been given some information about the girl at the spice shop, because you had mentioned that. I assume there was some type of dirt about her.
So what Barrington told and Craig told you, which is the same thing they told the rest of the party, is that Zara Shafiq had been questioned originally. She runs a shop called Empire Spices. She'd given them not very much to go on. She told them that the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh is a old wives' tale meant to scare young children, and that no one in modern day Egyptian society takes it seriously. They have put some people outside her spice shop before, never really saw anything. It doesn't appear that any.
Okay, because I got the indication that the waitress had told me some information.
The waitress
about
told you that that the owner is a high level person in the cult.
All right. Well, I tell them that at least.
And the party already knew that. They went and talked with her. Actually, our poor departed party member Jack took her out on a date.
I want to know what happened to Jack.
You heard gunshots. That's all you know, and you never saw him again.
Wasn't he on the boat?
No, he was hiding outside. He was hiding in the woods, getting getting ready to.
Coal.
Remember, he pulled you guys out of the coal chute,
remember.
And then was waiting at the bottom in case you had to make a quick exit out the window.
Yeah, so basically, he got perforated. No, but the thing is, they have enough to get her too, probably, or bring her in later on. I said, if she's high up in the cult, you're definitely going to want to get her too. Yeah, we'll get ready to go into the Penn Foundation. But yeah, I figure I'll let Barrington and Craig take care of getting whatever evidence from the witnesses at the Pyramid Club if they can.
Very
But at
good.
least I at least gave them a good idea of what to use. So, because you at least have evidence of some type of prostitution ring.
We'll see what we can find out. The only question that I have for you is, do you want to tip your hand this early? Because if we
No. I mean,
if we hit the Pyramid and Empire Spices on the same day that you all disappeared, they're gonna know that you're working with us and that we're all onto them.
Yeah. No, I said just be ready to.
Okay.
Because if you don't see us back, then that's your only place to hit.
Very well.
If something happens to us, in fact, I tell them, you may, I wouldn't have Barrington here because you don't want them to know it's Barrington. But if we don't come back tonight, then you know what to do tomorrow.
Very well.
All right. So what time do you want to hit there? Because when does it get dark now these days? Is it summer? Is it winter?
It's February, so it'll be dark by 6 o'clock, and you know that the Penhew Foundation, their normal business hours is 8 to 6.
All right, and it gets dark. When does the town kind of quiet down?
Well, this is in central London, so it never really, but...
What time did we hit Penhew Foundation, me and the other guy?
You snuck in around 8 o'clock.
At night?
Yes.
All right, then we will go try to do it around the same time points. That seems to be a good time to try to do that.
Okay. So, to remind all of you about the Penhew Foundation, it's in central London on Devonshire Street. It is a high Victorian building of fewer stories and greater ceiling height than the buildings on either side, and altogether grander in scale. Where's the description of the front of the building? A high iron fence surrounds the building at the front and rear. There's a delivery entrance at the back, wide enough to admit vehicles. And the one thing that Daniel warned you of before you got in is that at night a single watchman patrols the building, making his rounds once an hour. So
all right.
once he's past you, you should be safe.
All right. We will prepare for that, and looking for if there's anything that's been changed.
So, entrances that you know of. There's the main entrance, of course, here. And then there's, at the back of the building, there's, these are the bay doors that you probably don't want to use. Then there's this rear door here, which is how you got in the last time. As you're looking around, you notice there is also a coal chute here. And again, you notice that that weird ventilation shaft at the rear of the building that just seems weird and out of place to you, Seamus.
Where's the ventilation?
It's over near the coal. It's over on this side here, sticking up out of the ground, and it seems strange and out of place.
I think we noticed it before. Didn't we?
You did, yes.
It's a ventilation for what?
Spooky monsters.
So you realize that lines up perfectly with the room that you were in underneath in the basement.
All right. So I go, now that ventilation, does there seem to be an opening to it from the outside?
It's almost like a periscope coming up out of the side, the side of the foundation. and it appears to be. I mean, it's very
It's part of
small,
the monster.
but it's and you can hear kind of like a fan noise running through it. It's almost as if there's separate ventilation for that secret room.
Now, how big is that vent?
It's not. It's very small. It's
All right,
tennis ball sized. You're not going to be able to crawl through it.
So, and does that coal chute look like it's used for coal?
It does look like it's used for coal.
All right.
Coal
Probably.
chutes and jail cells.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to go through coal chute again. Shall we try the back door? Since I do know how to get in. I know what.
I will give you a bonus die, Seamus, on your roll here, since Oren's character is able to give you such a good description of how the locking mechanism works.
Okay. So standard roll plus.
You can do a standard roll and a d10, or you can do hit the other button for the roll, and that'll give the whole block of them, and it'll give you bonus dice and penalty dice, and then you just pick the one that's +1 bonus.
It's the purple die, right?
It's whatever the other one. I'm colorblind,
Yeah.
so it's whatever the other one is. The one.
Join the club.
The one that you don't normally use.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
So
thought.
much struggle.
The struggle is real.
The struggle.
Yeah.
It's the purple die.
Okay.
The other purple die.
So, go ahead.
I have rolled.
I don't see anything.
What is with roll 20 tonight?
Well, they said
Yeah.
that there's been an issue lately.
I think it's just you though.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of your rolls.
No, but it happened to me a week ago. So, in another game I'm in. So, don't feel bad. It's not just you.
Oh, now I see that you're typing.
Okay.
Oh,
See
now I
that?
saw your test.
So, it's just not doing your dice roll. What did you roll?
56, 91, 68.
What?
And
Any
I
of those
said,
succeed?
60.
All right. So, the 51 succeeded.
Yes.
56, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are able to open the door.
And we will shut the door behind us and go to the next door.
Great. So
Creeping in.
And we
so
go.
you remember
Is it through this door?
that you had to go through this door, and then there was a staircase over here that you can get to.
All right. So we'll do that.
Very well. And those of you who have been to Gavigan's office before know that this is the door to Gavigan's room.
Yeah, we're not going there.
Hey, I need a quick bio break. I'll be right back.
I'm just going to switch from the.
No, knowing him, he probably has an entrance to it from his room. I just don't know how to get there. I'm going to go by what I know. Just considering where that vent is. I'm guessing. If I was him, I'd have a secret entrance for my office. It would be what I would do if I was the villain.
Yes, I would.
Actually,
look
no,
for
I'm
a
sorry.
bust of
I was wrong.
Shakespeare.
This is Gavigan's office here, over here. That's where you've those of you that have been to Gavigan's office before, you know it's right here. You know that this is where Thomas Kinney sits, and that this is Gavigan's room.
Right. Yep.
So, are you going to Gavigan's room, or are you going the
No.
way that you know down
We're
to the basement?
Because I know how to go from the basement.
Okay. Let me.
It would be very foolish to go someplace I don't know.
Yes, I don't remember a bust of Shakespeare in his office that the head will tilt open and
Yeah. Or the Hitler one
Right.
turns.
Right.
Hold it. Who's Hitler at this time point?
Okay. So
He's a He's a little artist guy in Austria.
Who's right now getting a failing grade.
This puts you down in the basement here. There is
So we're in the basement where the pillars are?
yes, right down. No, down on the bottom here. Right
Oh.
below where I'm pinging on the map here.
Oh, okay. All right. Then we will head to. So we're heading towards that where
You're heading towards the bottom of that
Yeah.
room. You're heading towards this door right here.
Okay, we'll head over there. The guys that are good with weapons, just in case someone's there, be ready.
So this appears to be a furnace room, and this is the furnace here.
We're making sure to shut doors behind us, so
Great.
and we will open that up.
Okay.
Anything?
So this appears to be a storage room. And it's super musty, dusty in here.
I'll look around for something that isn't dusty.
Honestly,
Good
if
for my allergies.
you didn't know the way through here, you probably wouldn't find
Anything.
this secret door all on your own. But you're able to find the secret door at the back, which leads you to this room.
Da, da, da.
All the good stuff is in the secret rooms.
And who's in there
That weird thing on the floor.
besides us?
So there is no one else in there tonight.
We will slowly search it out.
So it is a spacious room. The walls appear to be very thick. It's
Hidden?
Yeah, it's just time to do the spot hidden rolls.
essentially appears to be independent from the rest of the building.
That roll, I see.
I switched browsers.
Okay.
Now the rolls are working. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, but we got a couple people who had successes, so that's good.
Okay.
Especially
so,
Seamus's hard success.
Great. So you see that there's a secret staircase here that goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Prior
to his office. But what's in here that we need?
So, hold on one second. I'm just getting all my good flavor text for you. So, there's some electrical cables
that says I did it.
that lead from the main fuse box. So this room appears to have its own power plant, air supply, water supply. You think that this and that's what that exhaust is that's coming from here. So you think that someone could easily live in this room, completely segregated from the rest of the world.
Cthulhu shelter.
Exactly. There's the smell of candles long since burned out, lingering in the air. There is a lot of well-maintained furniture. There's a desk, various tables and chairs, stacks of crates and boxes, an ornate chest, a bookcase, and an array of artwork hung about the walls.
Right.
There also, on one of the tables, are a variety of interesting looking materials. There's chalk, candles, a few vials of what appear to be a tacky-looking red liquid, and a couple of dubious tomes. Next to the desk is a comfortable study area with seating for small meetings. 2 boxes near the desk contain a 3-day supply of tinned food and water, as well as candles, matches, changes of clothes, and similar emergency supplies.
All right.
As you continue to look around the place, the desk itself, there's a drawer that contains a .32 caliber revolver and a box of bullets. You've seen that gun before, Lewis. A couple of false passports with Gavigan's picture on them.
I collect those. That's nice proof.
A number of bundles of used 5 and 10 pound notes.
That will be useful for us.
Totaling up to about 2,000 pounds.
All right.
Beneath the desk, with your hard spot hidden, you find a stout metal box, 2 feet by 2 feet by 1 foot, containing miscellaneous paperwork. Various receipts for goods and services, including a number of deliveries to Henson Manufacturing for wood, coal, iron ingots, copper wiring, and most notably, a very expensive safe.
We may need a specialist.
This one.
More evidence.
So, a cast iron walk-in safe, custom built, delivered, and fitted. Henson Manufacturing, Derby.
All right, we'll take that with us.
Sounds like something to look out for.
Now, do we find any evidence that is going to nail Gadivigan again? So, I mean, some of this is helpful, but I don't see anything that says.
Also in here is a receipt from Ferris and Sons of London for the 6-month hire of a truck. You've seen that truck before, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
A letter from Mr. Puneet Chowdhury of Ropemaker's Fields Limehouse related to the warehousing and shipment of sundry antiques to Shanghai on board a ship called the Ivory Wind. Also underneath these is a business card wedged into one of the corners of the box that for a business that you recognize, Empire Spices.
Okay.
Jesse took a leak on the Ivory Wind.
So
yes, he did.
So what's this about the spice place? That there's a evidence of what?
There's a business card. A business card for Empire Spices.
All right. We'll take that as well, just in case. Do we find anything that connects them to any shenanigans?
Other things that you find here, there's a lot of artwork, ancient icons, statues, and wall art. However, it's all really, really, really horrific looking, and I'm gonna ask for sanity rolls from everybody, please.
No.
Is it by that same artist?
Probably.
It is
Knowing their
not.
luck. You know it is. Oh, nice card.
Of course I
Again?
felt, 'cause- yeah.
Again with your sanity.
You know that we're supposed to go insane, don't you?
Yeah, it's just been London. I was doing so well everywhere
So
else.
if you succeed, you take no
Yay.
sanity loss. If you fail, you lose 2 points.
Cool. I had a hard success.
Excellent.
I'm unfazed. Now, this looks like the crap that we see from after World War One.
So
I've probably actually seen scarier stuff by the artists that survived World War One.
So most of the artwork is fairly obviously Egyptian or Proto-Sumerian. Extremely old. If you want to know how old, you can try an archaeology roll. There's one piece who is a small statuette of a pharaoh-like figure whose face is obscured by a mass of intricately carved squirming tentacles.
Mm-hmm. I will.
You
As they're
also
doing that,
see
yeah, go
a
ahead.
dark winged thing, seemingly both leprous and scaly. A winged hulking beast with a dragon-like tail and fang-ringed jaw. A group of prowling human-seeming beings whose eyes are far too big upon disfigured faces. And many red-orange colored bursts of color or light that are gathering around a tall, dark humanoid who appears to be on fire. There's also several wooden crates stacked about, but all but two of them are open and empty. There's a tall closed crate that is stenciled Hofang Import Export, 15 Koyang Street, Shanghai, in both English and Chinese. In smaller letters, the words "Attention Honorable Hofang" is on it.
We need to crack that
And then
sucker
there's a
open.
smaller wooden crate that's stenciled Randolph Shipping Company, Port Darwin, Northern Territory, Dominion of Australia.
All right.
All right, who's got the
Along with
crowbar?
a-
Let's start
Along
cracking
with
them
a
open.
curious symbol that seems to show a stylized deer head or winged creature. And in smaller letters are the words, "Personal to Mr. Randolph."
Well,
So
so basically, we haven't. I mean, I don't know what he was supposed to show me. That well, it's supposed to be so.
Those are the two boxes that two shipping crates that you see. You also see there's an ornate chest, fashioned of carved sandalwood and inlaid with silver depictions of unwholesome creatures, which look like a bizarre cross between an ape and a lizard, whose arms are unnaturally extended. There's a bookcase. With several glass-protected shelves of books and scrolls, as well as a small stone jar tucked away between the tomes. There are volumes in German, French, Russian, Latin, and Spanish, and 2 in English. 15 scrolls in total, all very old.
Right. Anything that comes out to me, I got an extreme on my occult roll.
Yes, so most of the tomes seem to be insane treatises praising various outlandish gods or talking about the most abstruse theological questions, such as the correct season for contemplating discourse with the strange hierarchies of powers. But you see 3 books that stand out to you. One is in French, one is in Latin, and one is in English.
Okay, I've got both Latin and English, so I would go towards those.
Okay, so there is a book called Liber Ivanus. It appears to be very, very old. It's a quarto bound in calfskin with an iron clasp. It has black-edged papers and a musty smell. There's also a book. The English book is called The Book of Dazan. You have no idea how old it is. It appears to be very old, though. Author and translation are not mentioned. It is a quarto bound in goatskin with woven papers and has a distinct smell of sulfur.
All right, I'm going to
The
take both
French
of
book
those.
is called Equinox divisé. It is comparatively not that old. It appears to be only about 100 years old. The author is a man named Ghislaine d'Armans. Is in soft calf leather binding, and the pages are untrimmed.
All right, I'm going to take the two, the Latin and the English, Libra Evenis and the Book of Design, for further study later.
Okie dokie. Of the 15 scrolls that were in there, 10 are see, are all these English?
Doesn't
Yes.
sound like we're getting much in the way of proof of nefarious dealings.
So the scrolls are all very old. 3 are in Arabic, 4 are in Latin, 2 are in medieval French, and 1 is in Old English. They appear to be so the 10 of them that appear to just be poems, you can tell by just looking at the meter on them. The other 5 are very strange looking. One appears to be in Greek, one appears to be in Egyptian hieroglyphs, and the other 3 are in Arabic.
Now let's read those later. Those are what, the scrolls?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think that's what they're looking. The chief and Baratoning, they're looking for something that is more.
And then there's a small stone jar containing a quantity of black-gray dust that looks kind of like ashes.
I bet this was the stuff that knocked me out. I'm guessing. If it was my guess.
I'm going to take a sniff and see if it smells the same.
No, I'm not going to take a sniff, but I'm going to take the jar at least.
Yes. We can get it analyzed.
Right. By the way,
I'll gather up the scrolls as well.
Out of curiosity, seeing this dust, should I roll for occult?
You would need Cthulhu Mythos to know what
which
this
I
is.
do have that, which means I have a chance. Not a good chance. I'll give it a try. I'm not gonna spend any luck on unless I get like within 1 point. But no, I don't even get close.
Okay.
So,
I'll take a look as well. No, I'm just as far off as you were.
But we're gonna take the jar because that makes sense. That because I was thinking he probably spray a powder spray or something. We'll take the jar with us. We'll take the metal box with the paperwork. You want to take the scrolls?
I've gathered up the 2 books that I can read and the scrolls.
All right, then is there anything here at all that could tie to anything that the cops would need?
You haven't seen anything so far, although there are those two crates that you haven't opened.
Let's open the 2 crates.
I mean, there's the false passports and the firearm. Yeah. I mean, those by themselves are.
Yeah. Well, the false passports might be enough. Why would someone of such virtue need a? So that's what I'll do. We'll take a quick look at the 2 crates. Because he's gonna know we've been down here. So
okay. Who's looking in the crates?
Who has the crowbar?
I'm gonna need sanity rolls from everybody.
God damn it!
2 sanity rolls or 1?
Again?
I will allow for just 1 for the 2 of them.
Okay.
because we'd stop opening it after the first one.
Because it's just so horrible.
I passed the sanity roll.
I
Yeah.
can't get
Wow.
the character sheet going.
Ooh, I passed.
You extremely passed. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm almost crazy.
I continue to pass.
All right. What is in the
Uh,
crates?
George, did you roll? I didn't see it.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
Roll sanity, please.
I wasn't looking. In the
Oh, you
crate.
weren't looking? Okay. All right.
Smart man. Smart man.
So inside are two very horrific looking statues. Inside the tall crate, it's a very large, size 100, approximately 330 pounds or 150 kilos in weight. It is the corroded brass statue of a bulbous thing wearing an Asian rice hat. A snake pit of tentacles seems to be bursting forth from beneath the hat. It sends shivers down the spine of anyone touching anyone looking at it. And does anyone touch it?
As soon as I see how ugly it is, nope, I ain't touched it.
Okay.
Not that you've said that.
In the smaller crate is a 16-inch, 41-centimeter representation of a fat, dragon-like creature whose evil-looking head is fringed by tentacles.
What are both of these made of? I mean, when you look at them, clay, stone.
So the tall one is corroded bronze.
All right.
And the other one is also bronze, although not corroded.
All right. So we have found nothing else in here, but the passports and the other stuff might be enough.
The other thing that you haven't opened is the ornate chest.
Oh, we go open the ornate chest.
Let's
Okay.
pop it open. Yep.
Lose more sanity.
You do not need a sanity roll for this. Inside are two ornate silver daggers.
Ooh. We will take this. Shall we take the daggers?
Absolutely.
How big is this chest?
Taking everything else.
The chest is.
I mean, is it like a cigar box chest to hold two daggers, or are these huge daggers?
They're not huge daggers, but it's about the size of a bread box, little bit bigger than a cigar box.
All right, we'll take the whole box then. There's no reason to. Do we want to roll an occult roll on this to know what they are, or mythos?
You would need mythos in order to know that.
Might as well try. You never know until you try. Don't. I love that. Don't. And now me. Double don't. Hey, at least when we're failing big. We don't know. And we will just take this stuff with us, and we're going to get out of here. Because I don't think we found anything else. Is there anything we haven't checked? I suspect the stairs lead to his office, and I doubt he has anything that secret in his office where people can walk in.
If you fumble a mythos roll, does that mean you think they're from IKEA?
Yeah.
It's
would
just
take-
normal.
Yog Sagoth. No.
I have
It's
played with some
an
pretty dubious
IKEA knife
keepers
set.
that if you fumbled a mythos roll, you accidentally called up some dark power and bad things happen. But
Dark power.
I'm not quite that cruel. So it's 11. This is our normal stopping time. I guess the one thing I'll ask is if you're going to go up to Gavigan's office, then I'll tell you what you find there, and we'll do that before we go. If you're just getting out of Dodge, then we'll do that too.
I say we get out of Dodge because I don't think we're going to find anything extra in his office.
But
Personally.
we're already here.
That might be where the evidence would be.
All
I
right.
think this is part of his special storeroom. If he's got any like receipts or anything, it
True.
might be in his office.
Okay.
So we will go up then, I guess.
Okay.
We'll go up and then we're leaving. And that's
And
it.
then we'll start the next session with the combat.
So that goes up into a secret storeroom, which is this
We're
room
immediately
right,
captured.
which is this room right here. There's no one in it.
Which room?
And
Oh, this-
Alistair, you know from the floor plan that this door here is going to lead into Gavigan's room.
Okay.
So
Okay, I'm gonna head up and go in there.
Well, hold it. Listen first. I'll do a listen check then.
okay.
Since. And of course, I hit the wrong button. Du, 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 du.
You do not
Oh.
hear anything.
All right. Then we go in.
So this goes into a closet, which then has you realize that there's a secret door that you are coming from the outside of, so it opens on it for you. You come up through a fake mummy sarcophagus into Gavigan's office. So there is an unlocked floor safe, and you saw this the last time that you were in here, Alistair.
Yep.
And there's 100 pounds in 1 pound banknotes. Each one of them has Gavigan's signature on it.
That's too easy.
There's a photograph sitting on the desk in a silver frame of an imposing 3-story country mansion.
We know that one.
You recognize it as Miser House. And then there's a locked drawer of one of the drawers on his desk is locked.
You want to do the pick?
Go for it.
He failed.
Tougher security.
I will try it now. Let me get my skills up again. No guarantee I'll succeed, but I'll try. No, I failed to. These things are not usually that big a deal. Can they be? Can a letter opener be used?
I'll say that between the two of you, you managed to get it done.
All right. Yeah, because
Seamus
usually desk
failed
locks
by
are
8, so I'll say that with,
Pop it.
with
Yeah.
you helping, you managed to get it open.
I'll give him
Inside is a telegram, which I will show to you now. November 6th, 1924. Giza dig well. Stop. All as planned. Stop. Work apace at Mycerinus. Stop. Thank you all for your assistance. Most helpful. Stop. Dr. H. Clive.
All right.
And it was sent from Cairo, Egypt.
All right. So we have a couple places to go. Anything else in this office that we find?
That is it.
And we leave.
Okay.
Scram.
And we go and we roundabout way to make sure we're not fouled to Craig's place.
Perfect. That seems like a good place for us to end for the evening.
Yeah.
Factory next.
Yeah. Well, and we hand the fake passports and a few other things to them. That's the only evidence I can see that is going to be of use to the cops.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks from today is November 10th. I'm available to play that day. So as long as that's not a problem for anybody else,
No.
we'll plan that we are back on our every other week schedule.
Yep, that works for me. I don't have a problem for November 10th.
Great.
Works for me.
Yeah, it
All
works
right.
for me.
Well,
I feel like we've been pretty successful.
thank you everybody for coming out
More
and playing tonight.
evidence than I've gotten in a long time.
Oren, thank you very much. It
No
was
problem.
good to have you on the team.
Well, hopefully we continue to have success, though. Sanity will be dropping.
All right. Well, thank you all very much and have a great night.
All right.
See you guys.
Yeah, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.